brain, why do you do this to me? Yeah, it's why I didn't want to do this using the hotspot. Internet connection is not as stable versus Wi-Fi. It's one of the reasons I actually had wired connection with my box for a while. But of course, even that is not the most stable right now. I'm sure once ever the engineer comes out and looks at the box, they'll be able to fix it. But it seems as if my phone signal is also stuttering a bit. So there may be a problem in my area that's just not been brought to their attention yet. I may wrap things up early to account for that. We have to wait here while our father arranges for us to use the next lift. Here being Logisticon Alpha, where the atmospheric conditions of Labyrinthos are regulated. Water is drawn from underground, dispersed as vapor, stimulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperature and air circulation, they are able to create the ideal environments for growth and preservation. The biological sample is kept here. Hold on, how do you know so much about it? Why, father brought me here as a child. What? And left me behind? Actually, you're the one who left me behind when you went off somewhere with grandfather. The night before, I'd been asking father how clouds are made, so he decided to show me. It was fascinating. I peppered him with questions the entire time. It is all too easy to take for granted the many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to the wondrous. But having gained an understanding of the complex mechanisms employed by the Loporits in recreating a similar environment, I had come to view such processes in a new light. The subterranean garden of Labyrinthos, the lunar prison forged to contain the ancient zodiac, the habitations built for all mankind beneath the moon's surface, each unique yet undeniably similar. It is no mere coincidence. Ever since Hylam unfolded to us the grim fate that's awaited Satheris, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered to Labyrinthos in preparation for the Great Exodus. But that is not all. It is also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Loporits have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, to thrive where all is barren. Alas, time is not on our side. I have arranged for you all to enter the central circuit. It is there that most of our preparations for the Great Exodus are carried out, the construction of the Ark among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subject to said restrictions. Will have free reign to come and go as you please. Such was the will of the Forum, after all. We will prove ourselves worthy of their trust, your trust. Then let us proceed. Is it bad that part of me wishes that his hairband was purple instead of red? Just so he has something that references both his children instead of just one of them. By decree of the Forum, the Scions of Seventh Dawn are permitted to enter the central circuit. Here we go. A new destination. We're here. I look forward to exploring it. Ether burner is being constructed not far from here. Overseeing the work is Kolkol Dankol, after whom the forge is named. Once the necessary instructions have been made, I shall leave you with him to discuss the particulars. This way. Okay. Let me just take a look at the map. How do we... Oh. Is there... Yep, something similar on the other side. Interesting. This entire place appears to be divided into sections. There's the first ether current we need. We'll keep exploring. This is truly a fascinating place. Well then, travel my interest in Chocobo Porter, blah blah blah. That's just the... Okay. Here's our means of teleportation in and out of this area. Go collect that. There it is. Okay. Jesus Christ. I'm starting to get really worried. Yep. This is why I didn't want to have to resort to a hotspot connection to play. It's just so inconsistent. I mean, it'd probably be better if I could bring my phone over here, but... Hold on. I'm checking if the, Okay. The, extension that I'm using for my computer does have USB ports. So... if I grab my phone... plug it into there. I now have the hotspot right beside the computer, and hopefully that will negate connection issues. We can only hope, anyways.
I could swap them out. No, been there, done that. Damn near lost me eyebrows. Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
I love them already.
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Force, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the Ether Burner conundrum.
Yay.
Not seen you lot down here before.
Mm-hmm.
There are archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface, by whatever means you see fit.
That sounds like you want him to launch us out of a cannon, for Chanel.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the ether burner.
Aye, aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the ether burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding.
Yeah?
Even out in that
Pretty
black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb.
Okay, all sounds good so far.
But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the Forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient.
That doesn't sound so bad,
A
but...
measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Loperites?
I mean, the most logical sense to me would be to figure out how to adapt it to use Dynamis. Because there's loads of Dynamis in space. So if we can use that as a power source without transforming people around it, that would be a logical solution.
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive.
Yep.
It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, and as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Okay.
Boy, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some ends like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it though. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the northern empty during the calamity. With
Okay.
more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
I mean...
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Good question.
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with.
Okay.
Drive calls from Ragnarok class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need. According to the gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up.
Well, I could go after it. Sounds like that's gonna be our mission.
Rough going in there, even for the cream. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
Weren't we near that part of the Ragnarok when we went to destroy Bahamut?
You want me to go and fetch the whatsits?
That may be for the best, though you doubtless find the task too dull for your liking.
There are multiple internment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours.
Are we getting people to our... Good catch. Are we going to get a bunch of people?
What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavensward.
Heavensward.
This is Alphino. The Scions have...
Why did he say it that way? He's sharing and getting a bunch of people to help.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-Sword expedition myself.
Okay.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are
Thank
there
you,
other
Serena.
ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Anyway, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Combine a source like that with the ether burner, and 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
I love you already, little buddy.
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship.
This makes me happy.
I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? There's plunder for the taking. And I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Yep, just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
Uh-huh. I love his little "I'm proud of him" gestures. They're nice. It's times like these we're reminded of how famous or infamous Alphino has become. Who would have thought he could achieve so much with a single link pearl conversation? As we're expecting rather a lot of visitors in the near future, I best return to the surface and inform the relevant parties. I also have a contact of my own that might be worth a try. Ah, and who might that be? That's for me to know and you to find out. And on that note, I leave matters here in your capable hands. Best of luck. Off she goes. Meanwhile, in Ul'dah, what's happening? No.
Our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Dalamud and procure arcane relics of Allagan make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Sultan Sworn and brass blades for support as you must.
Thank you, Nanamo.
Papashan, send word to the guild.
Oh wow, he's in full
We
gear.
require the expertise of
Been a
master
while.
artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials. Dear guys, we have need of your stone torches. They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
As commander of the Stone Torches, my son Zimberg will personally see it done.
I've had interactions with that guy.
I would have you lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Tizona's blade clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you take charge of the search for Allagan
did he get a new
relics.
outfit?
Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it. The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Uldar's best efforts may be for naught.
The song is playing right now is a remix of an existing song, and I kind of like
yet,
it.
When we Eorzeans rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm, did we not learn one simple truth? That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together. It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Uldar will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
Thank you, Nanamo. You are one of the best characters, and I'm glad she got to have a moment there. Meanwhile, in the Black Shroud. Ooh. You're gonna get a similar scene with Connie's brother. Does look like it.
We fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
Or not.
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
Nice.
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Our deficiency so plain to see.
Yep.
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the Scions assigned to the Shroud. I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
Then I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
I won't let it all be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
Oh! Oh, girl! He's been dead for 2 expansions! Do you really have to do that? Meanwhile, in Kurthus... Aww. 4 Tom's brothers.
There you are. We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already...
He's just paying his respects. Whoa. What's that?
That was a roar. A dragon's roar.
Yep. I think the dragons are coming to help. Meanwhile, in the Ruby Sea. Notice we didn't get a lot of cutscenes will play in sequence message. This is quite a long cutscene.
The Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honourable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid. Is that...
Hancock? What a
Soraban.
surprise this is. And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
Oh, wow. Well then. A lot is going on elsewhere. Wait, before we start the next mission. Huh. I kind of like it. This feels more like combat gear. Also, we have our own little pistol here. Scat button. Though our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics, we will only know if they meet your requirements once they have arrived. In the meantime, is there aught else we might do to be of service? You've already done more than enough. If I had to say, though, I could use someone who knows a thing or two about Allegan technology. You there, the lad with the red eyes and matching hair. You seem to know more than the average scholar. No shit. If only Master Kolko knew how right he was. While he and Graha establish a rapport, why don't we help with preparations for the Great Exodus? This would mean going above and beyond the terms of our arrangement. I propose this not to curry favor. As confident as I am that we will succeed, must be ready for every eventuality. This would also be an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traversing the Great Expanse. If nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantite. Well, ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers. If you have a mind to lend a hand, I know where you ought to go. Shalian Hamlet allows you with researchers and scholarly types, busying them says preparing for the Exodus. That lot need all the help they can get. Well then, off we go. Basically, this is an excuse to get us to go off and do side quests. No, yeah, this is definitely a slight improvement. I say slight because I'm not a fan of the color, to be honest. Part of me is tempted to dye this a different color. Yeah, though maybe it'll look alright once we get matching gloves and boots. Hopefully those come sooner rather than later. We've still got at least 2 hours, so hopefully everything will keep running smoothly. Though I am tempted to go and quickly make myself something food-wise. I am starting to get really peckish. But in order to make the thing... Okay, you know what? Yeah, why not? While I am off making my food, we'll go into it, be right back. But it shouldn't be too long, so see y'all in a bit. And we're back for like 10 minutes while my food finishes cooking. I just hope that that doesn't burn. What I can tell, a lot of people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scholar Montechalin mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting in anyone's way. Let's meet by the thread once our work is done. Helping with the Ark, even with all the power Master Coco managed to squeeze out of the ether burner, it's still not enough apparently. Now I hear the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. If only we had begun the exodus sooner. People are dying. There'll be no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. But we will. We spent years preparing for this moment. Believe in the plan and all will be well. Yeah. That's the right attitude to have, mate. Hello there. For your help, that's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of the documents by myself. It's mostly a list of the things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear that our lure collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've not even the slightest idea what they look like. I hope they're not enormous looming giants. Why, I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like that beheaded rabbit that ran by. He'll be happy to know then that they saw one of them. Okay, we'll do all this. Seeing as this clearly indicates the way this is written, we should do the side quests. What luck! You are just the gallant sort I was in search of. You see, I've whipped up an experimental new tincture, one that brings low a certain type of fiend. I'd hoped a brave adventurer might test its efficiency for me in the field. Since you're here, perhaps you could fill that role. Good. Now then, about the solution in mind. With the help of some gleaners, I've crafted a concoction that can interfere even the hardest of seekin casings, along with make quick work of the beasts. Or so my hypothesis goes, anyway. Alas, my genius remains untested and thus unproven, which is where you come in. One so well versed in the ways of war should have no trouble at all verifying a tinker's efficiency, I should think. Based on the information I have ascertained, an oversized Birkin can be found wandering about to the west of Logisticum Beta. Douse that statistic seekin in my newest nostrum and bash into a blade pulpery, would you? Okay. Hello, are you one of the new helpers? Working on the ether burner. Oh dear, I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I choose that over my current duties, checking and loading samples day in and day out. It's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The Form's got enough on their plate as it is, while deciding who gets to board the Ark and when. Lots of powerful people have opinions about that. Mark goes out to Master Fortunal and the others. Hardly get a moment's rest, I expect. Do they even have time to sleep? Two of the other side quests. We'll do all of these side quests, then continue with the story. I mean, this is gonna get us some bracelets. Heavens forfend, to think this would happen in my kitchen. The nerve. Oh, you there, yes you. You're the look of a man who knows what he's about. I'm in desperate need of one such as you. Make myself a bushel of Mario agronomics apples, but wouldn't you know, some nasty mandriga or swipe those red beauties from under my nose. Not sure how they got in here in the first place, but that's beside the point. I could, well, try to steal them back myself, but goodness knows how many hours it'd be before I stumbled upon that blasted bandit. I'm only one woman. I can't cover all that ground by myself. So be a friend and help me get my apples back, would you? Sure. I just knew you'd oblige me. Now then, let's talk strategy. I'll scour the area just south of here, so you take the north. Deal? Mandragoras bury themselves in the dirt to hide, so if you see one of their bulbous heads poking out of the soil, hit them with one of these malodorous bombs. They'll be so surprised to get a face full of stink, they'll leap out and leave behind my apples. Thief will probably take off running, but let them go. I just want my pilfered fruit returned. Besides, Mandragora carcass isn't on the menu tonight. Right then, I'll leave your search. Happy hunting. Okay. You. Hi. Excuse me, sir. I couldn't help but notice that you've a way about you. Sippy screams, I have an affinity for creatures of the wilds. And since I'm never wrong about such things, might I trouble you? You see, amongst the troops of trolls living in the outer circuit, I came upon one who was sick beyond measure. Took the creature in at once and saw him healed, of course. When I attempted to return to his rightful home, he flew into a panic, as if he couldn't bear the thought of going back. To make matters worse, the troll saw fit to escape into a den of allies. I would go after him, but I'm so fumble-footed I'll scare him off like as not, and be torn limb from limb by pains by the things. My food smells like it's done. I'm gonna go fetch it. Actually put it in for a little bit too long. Try something a bit different next time I try and make something like this. Oh well, we have a bit of food. That's the important part here. Something to stave off hunger. So I turn to you. Would you seek out this troll of which I spoke? Which provides you with his favorite food and with it you'll be able to calm the piteous thing. Hopefully enough to see his senses restored for him to come hurrying back. Though I should think of it, if any of those felon alls seek to impede you or pacify troll, make those beasts regret their interference. Oh, and don't worry, you'll be rewarded for your efforts. Cool. Oh my, the ways of Valyagar is mysterious as they are providential. To think a man so robust as you would appear before me in my hour of need. If this is not divine intervention, I know not what is. I face a trial for which I am not equal, nor shall ever be. But it involves the capture of my most feared nemesis. Well, you see, I can barely speak the wild beast's name without my gorge rising. Well, consider my offer truly. I have money set aside, quite a bit of it, in fact. All I need to do is capture one of those vile vegetables. Find them near economics. Hard to miss, disgusting things that they are. Wow. I just have no words. It should be kind of trouble from out. I'm looking for someone, you see, and I was hoping you might help. I do receive a pair of beasts captured in St. Mosian's Arboretum. The gleaner who's meant to make the delivery has yet to appear. I've grown rather tired of waiting. I tried reaching him via link probe, but to no avail. I need to go out and search for him myself, but why if he arrives, I'm not here. So would you be willing to find said gleaner for me? He ought to be relatively small, as you think, considering he's traveling with 2 mud-covered seedkin. Search west of here first. I'll check around here just to make sure he's not rounding a corner or some such. Should you find him before I do, hurry back here, will you? One of them requires us to go back a little bit. Godsmack garlic. It's so frightened by your pestering his flag. Does not appear to be a culprit you are after. Offended onion. He takes a leave of you as a darts all. It does not appear to be the culprit. Which means that the last one must be the correct one. Quizzical Queen. Up and pleased and quizzical. A flustered state leaving behind apples. It would appear this knavish man grows behind the fruit napping. Jesus Christ, they're as big as my head! No wonder she wanted them. Okay. Thank goodness you're here. Valvasa caught me by surprise, gave me a nasty shock. What are you doing all the way out here? Ah, of course. I suppose all this waiting would make anyone rather nervous. I'll give my apologies to the operator when I deliver these specimens. As for the specimens themselves, let's just say I'm not surprised they're still in one piece despite being bathed in lightning. The Earth will probably save them, come to think of it. Alright, thank you, kind stranger. Doubt you'd still be among the living if not for your aid. Right then, They better get going. Don't want to keep the operator waiting any longer than he already has. Whoops. Wandered too close to something. It's fine. Oh, is this another? Must be another way back up. One we won't use, but still, good to know it exists. Come to think of it, didn't we get... Yeah, we're all right. God damn it. Ah. Think of it. Where's my chocobo's not here? There you go, Flabby. Welcome back. Right. Yep, left to the medial circuit. Ah, there's a stray tomato. I forgot that there were sentient ones. Ah. We need to weaken it, and then stab it. I see. Or, not weaken it. Then stab it. Weaken it, then capture it. I don't know why anyone wants a sentient tomato over a regular tomato, but let's not question them. Especially not when said person hates things. Oh, god damn it. I overshot on damage there. There we go. Now we make our way over to the stairs to the lift to the lower levels. Now we just need to find our wayward troll and guide it home. It is very interesting how the levels above this one are much less organized. Oh, look at the thing. Grr. They are cute, though. There we go. We helped out a bunch of people. As we were told to do. Not interested. I don't feel like doing a fate right now. That was a nice meal. Though next time around I'm gonna do certain things differently. Definitely use less sauce. When I scratch on it, take this to mean my serum did its job. It most certainly did. Is that so? Goodness, my Jesus, is rather startling, isn't it? That was a tincture most hastily thrown together. An area of thought was put into it. Area, thank you for services rendered. Here for your troubles. Well then, I must return to my pondering. These theories of mine won't hypothesize themselves. We're very close to leveling up. Come to think of it. Yeah, we'll focus all of our XP into leveling up this class until the next one until it hits 90, and then we'll switch. Ah, there you are. I've come up empty-handed, sad as that is to admit. How'd you fare? We already covered the apples? You were? Oh my, I can't thank you enough. Goodness me, now I have a proper look at them. They're rather enormous, aren't they? Funny how I didn't see that before. Labyrinthus, as you've surely noticed, is entirely man-made, and our continued prosperity is thanks in part to the elemental reactor and the false sun. Though truth be told, those two things are like a blame for our oversized fruit. Word is there's research afoot to see if the above-ground orchard could produce something of similar size as well. Given what little we know, though, I'm sure that day is quite a long way off. Oh, begging your pardon. Here I am talking your ear off when I'm sure you've better things to be getting on with. Heavens, so I certainly do. Apple pies don't bake themselves, now do they? Thank you again for your help. Jesus Christ, with apples that size, those pies are going to be... like, the amount of pies they'll be able to make with those. Look, he's returned. I can't thank you enough. I know they may not look it, but trolls are really quite intelligent. Indeed, they are an intrinsic part of the woodlands of Labyrinthus, and keep it healthy and thriving. Though we've a responsibility to put down the more violent and unruly ones, most trolls, such as this one, are kind, docile things. In fact, my friend here has a real chance of becoming leader of his tribe, perhaps even guardian of the forest someday. It is we who saw these creatures removed from their natural habitats and relocate them within Labyrinthus. Thus, we've a responsibility to watch over them, to ensure they are well. And it would be too cruel to dispose of one simply because they're under the weather. Ah, yes, your reward. Here as promised. Now then, so I saw this fellow return to the outer circuit. Farewell, adventurer. Yee. Alright, so this one over here, and then one more quest to turn in after that, and we can continue the main scenario. Well, were you able to capture one of those terrible tomatoes? Yep, here it is. Yep! Pardon me, even in the sack can't stomach the wretches. But better in than out, I suppose. At least it won't get these painful juices into anyone's eyes. That's curious as to why tomatoes maddened into violence were running amok. Well, the truth is, a gleaner had sowed a congeries of vegetable seeds to cultivate on the plantation. A few of these vermin managed to slip in unnoticed. The soil was an exceptional throw by the looks of it, because the creatures proliferate with alarming ease, more so than anyone could have possibly guessed. They revived this tale with an even stranger twist. Juices they squirted into my eyes. Salubrious effect. I no longer needed my glasses. I can see perfect clarity now, though it wasn't a great deal of pain, mind you. And life gives you tomatoes, make eye juice. No, that wasn't a very pithy ring to it at all. Anyway, service have been most helpful. I'll begin my research as soon as I can write. And before I forget, here's your reward. Huh. Tomato juice that fixes your eyes. Not sure whether or not I would want it. My face feels weird without my glasses on. There you are. I was wondering when I would see you again. The glare told me everything that happened. You got him out of a tight spot. He seems to have escaped largely unscathed. Ruins are giving him a thorough inspection just in case. You may not know this, but they're actually a variety of Coporoco. Only these happen to be smeared in a unique type of mud originating from the Arboretum. Judging by the look of your face, you already know of this species, don't you? Tells me you've already... Isn't it just a wonderful place? Wondering why I require these little things. Well, I had a theory that their earth alignment might prove to be of use in the amplification of said elements. I expected such an unfortunate accident would come my curiosity, though. Well, we're one of us the worse for the wear, so perhaps it's not that unfortunate. They're still alive and kicking, and the samples made safely here. All thanks to you, of course. So also the Endwalker, yes? Debatable, but... eh. Da 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 da. We now have 4 classes at level 89, waiting to make their way to level 90. Fancy meeting you here, Sparks. Our friends at the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. We're interested in is the theories. What we're really interested in is the theories itself, though we now find ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around. Or at least, that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Oryanje and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, engaged in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Wouldn't that be fun? A tour of Labyrinthos? And I expected yet prudent suggestion. Give us areas betwixt this artificial environ and the best ways burrow. 'Twould be in our best interest to have the Loporits equate themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Charlian collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspective. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture. What a marvelous idea. Might we begin with that great big what's it over yonder? Ah yes, the what's it. I shall leave its explanation to Sparks. Wow. Thanks, buddy. Hold on. Well, I look forward to having a fully upgraded outfit. What's the what's it that they're guiding me towards? Is it this thing? Goodness me, to build something so large without creation magic is positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important feature. It's a little hard to see from here, but is that a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. Ah, this must be for purifying water drawn up from below. Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? It must be because of those cogs and that gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they draw up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too. This looks like the trees in Greatest Endsvale. Hold on. That's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. That makes sense. That's where they store the water. Yep. That all sounds right. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install in even the harshest of environments. For us Loporits, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We've read, however, that peoples of Aethera sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive? Many settlements in Thanalan are built near an oasis. So wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We could provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it appears they rely on it far more than we'd anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order, once we calculate the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place. Master Alphino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? The Envelopers will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Ah yes, it sounds absolutely splendid. We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Shardian Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We could not help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking beyond the same confines of the settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think what would have become of us. Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth, loports may appear to be a potentially rather appetizing source of sustenance. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as escort to living way and cooking way, and trust singing way and growing way to thy care. Yep, I can do that. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beastie. Come along, growing way, to the water extraction, what's it? The music was so peaceful in the moment that we got out of that area. It went back to be out of that conversation. It went to, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die. Be prepared, 'cause we're all gonna die. Seriously. So tense. Thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction was worth this harrowing experience. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burned to a crisp if it's all the same to you. Yeah, I respect that. Hold on. There's another... What is that? Oh, it's another Logisticon. So there's 3 of these. And they must each have lifts that lead up somewhere. My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Great, follow me. Marvelous, simply marvelous. So this is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. Perfect environment to stay in life, artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that the Earth just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Mankind turned out the way they are because of the available resources, I wonder. Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it. Well, let's get ourselves some new trousers to wear. This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where is the food? I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Meryl's ergonomics. Imagine seeking away and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus. Would thou be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian? Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Oriology was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention theorists will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there is still time. Let's brook no further delay. You know, the fact that they just go and say, yep, this whole world is going to burn. And they say it's so cheer. I know I'm technically applying that cheer. But whenever I hear them talking in cutscenes, they did say very much sound as if they were going, none of this matters. Okay, I know one of those missions, one of the ether currents will be from a main scenario mission. We've got at least 2 more non-main scenario that we're gonna see. This is the place, yes? The heady aroma was enough to guide me here. I spotted several of the fruits and vegetables featured in our compendium. I ideally love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crop without permission are often caught and put into pies. No, but perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they're willing to part with a few samples. What a fine mess this is. Ah, it's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the exodus. I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star the form decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. No matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. The ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, it's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. Merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourself. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So where to begin? Here. Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes? Yep, the low polygon grapes which they kept because people love them. Let's see if they are as delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. That's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less visceral manner than a philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? Honestly, between these options, meh is the most accurate, but I'm gonna go with that one. Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? What I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, they'll call. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next treat. Orange by name, orange by nature. Who came first, the fruit or the color? The answer would actually be apparently the fruit came first. As in, they didn't have a word for the color. But, as the fruit, the color of the fruit became associated with the name of the fruit, that's apparently how we ended up with the color name. Before that, I think it was like yellow-red or something. Okay, face, the fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat. Yes, that's... Equal parts sweet and sour, as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Oryanji about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. What I'm looking for is bitter. This is all very complicated, you know. So many flavors, so many choices. Each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. But speaking of carrots, have you had to sample any of the vegetables? Let's see what's in that field over there. Yes! Wait, so they've got the fruits over here, and then vegetables over here. That's actually quite a clever way. Well, not clever, I'd say, but it's a good way of organizing it. Having your mill part run through the whole thing. Yeah, aren't these pumpkins? Pumpkins are a fruit. They have seeds inside. That color, that texture. Are these some sort of enormous round carrots? No, in any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than a taste. Oh, it's so hard and flavorless. I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. The album confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots. Stop. Can't you see these are pumpkins? And no one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. Do you not find it an awful bother? Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. Your name is Cooking Way. Literally, this should be good. And what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. Perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the oranges I sampled. I wonder, though, if there is anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Oh god. Lemons. Yeah, you haven't tried a vegetable yet. You've only tried... This is just a fruit place. There is no vegetables here. Well, I wonder its fragrance. With luck, we'll have a flavor to match. As I have no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite into it. My tongue. Is this poison? A lemon. I mean, it's supposed to taste like this? How can something so similar to an orange be so revolting? How dare you! Maybe sometime before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. How dare you say that about lemons? You insult... You are an insult to your name. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking. Rather than with the grapes and orange, less so the pumpkin. Though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. Then there was the lemon. Deceiver. I still feel so violated. Do you not understand the concept of sour? First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth, in more ways than one. So I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spread this opportunity to... Bit of sick came up there. Learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin, do your worst. Yes! Show him that sour can be nice. This is... delicious! Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of a dough to create perfect harmony. I never would have guessed it's sour. It's sour, not bitter. Could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See? We rarely use lemons in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes, and the same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that can even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the forum agonizes over what was worth preserving, what will be consigned to history. Hard choices, but make them we must if we're to survive. Such strength of will. Now I know what Highland sees in your kind. Mankind, the Loporiths, we were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They knew all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fate of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. Therein lies its folly and its downfall. Perfection is an unattainable ideal. It is a paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilization, since time immemorial, have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. Very close to the actual phrase. Pardon my Eorzea, but what in the seven hells are you on about? And who are you anyway? Clicking away at your service, I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. Once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. We're growing all different kinds, but don't worry. There'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of Aetherius' species as possible. If you're up to the challenge. Yes, of course. I look forward to it. Well, this has all been highly productive. Probably. Let's go and see if Orionji and the others have Ravashiri to inspect, shall we? Oh. Away. Do. Was this one gonna give me anything? No. Shame. I really want to replace the boots and the gloves. The gloves most of all. The boots are fine. But the gloves are... They bother me right now. This looks so out of place with everything else. That was most enlightening, especially the part with the lemon muffin. I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine? Limsa Leminsa is home to the Culinarian Guild. Would that I had time to visit. The more I learn of Aetherius, the more I wish we could spare from the final days. Alas, Highland's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way. Ooh, well, here gets our boots. Box of trust side time economics did bear fruit. Memphis too rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them and us for a fortnight. Last time is of the essence. Let's return Charlie and have it forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every Loporith there should further questions within my power to answer arise. Aww. don't feel like walking, so... Okay. We're doing all right. Sigh. Yes, Sparks, that was indeed me verbalizing a sigh to express my emotional state. Do you want to know why? Because I saw the reconstructed environmental data for Aetheris at Logisticon Alpha, that's why. A forest so lovely and so leafy. Are all of your forests like that? The Black Shroud is quite leafy indeed, and a place of utmost tranquility. Gasp, I say. With a start so wonderful, it comes as no surprise that you're reluctant to leave it behind. I was a fool to think otherwise. Soon the moon was something worth being proud of. How ridiculous must it seem to you, trying so hard yet achieving so little? Aww. Not at all. Thy works are no less worthy for their uniqueness. Glad I heard tiny voices. Thancred. How dost thou fare? I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations have proceeded without interruption here, despite news of the coming end. We have the forum's leadership to thank for that. That doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work, equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death. And can hardly tell them there's no cause for concern. Perhaps not, though aided by our goodly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden. Me? Be of use to people? I'm honored that you would think me so capable, but I'm not sure that I'm up to the challenge. Nevertheless, I believe in thee. If you say so, suppose it can't hurt to try. I passed someone moping in the Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Perhaps we might start with him. It's as good a place as any. Come. Yep, it is as good a place as any. Also, because we leveled up, we'll be able to do another bit of the melee DPS story. Do that later, though. I don't feel like doing it right now. Oh, can I help you? Actually, we're here to help you. It is you who would help me. Is my anxiety truly so obvious? A burden shared is a burden eased. Pray, tell us of thy troubles. Those little fellows do look like good listeners. I'm an engineer, you see. What they say of a ship that is the sum of decades of shining ingenuity, that's built with peerless, elegant technology, it's all true, but... I know none of that's a guarantee. You'd never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. All the tests we've run have been on the ground. Only operational personnel and cargo will be aboard for the first voyage. But even so, if it fails us, then what can we do? If it doesn't, it could fall apart on the next flight, or the one after that. We've done everything we can to prevent that from happening. It hardly matters. We thought the Etherbird's design was flawless, too, and look how that turned out. Thou art familiar with these most daunting technologies, and thus dost thou hold the power to allay his fears? Oh, I'm not sure about that, but well... Maybe you could tell me if there are any aspects of the ship's design that you're especially worried about. Our ability to walk about and perform our tasks, for one. I devised a means by which to employ gravity, a spatio-temporal spell, to regulate the environment. What if it's not strong enough? What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things as soon as we've left the star? Ah, gravitation. Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there is not so different from down here, you see. The same rules apply. Because to them is part of one great big cosmos rather than separate places. There we go. I expect both parties shall find comfort in this conversation. Yet, if Vanquist's tale be true, still others would benefit from insights born of experience. Might I prevail upon the Loporrits to attend them? An excellent idea, if I do say so myself. There is naught we'd like more than to ease the hearts of the fine people of Aetheris and learn more about them while we're at it. Full glad am I to hear it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Sparks, thou hast a gift for finding souls in need of succor. Pray seek them out, the distressed and the apprehensive, and inform them that help is at hand. I shall await them here, that I might introduce each to a suitable Loporrit. Yeah, I can do that. Probably get a few more side quests. Oh, I do so look forward to that. A place for every Loporrit, and every Loporrit in their place. There's one, an anxious engineer. Am I thinking about the medical facilities on the ship, of course? Design them with the assistance of our sages and chirurgeons. But to imagine every illness or injury that one might face in that great expanse is beyond any of us, to say nothing of the effects that living out there indefinitely might have on the body. The crew from the moon? Why did I